Hi everyone, Matthew here with Dr. G in Technology, and today we're going to be looking at how to start a career and job in cybersecurity. So before we get too deep, certainly let us know what you think below by telling us what you want to hear more of so that we can distribute more uh, applications for you as well as videos regarding what you like to help you along your IT journey. Also, click the like button and subscribe button below so that you can be alerted to any kind of new um, videos out there and content that will help you in your IT journey. And then also right down below, click the IT Village link, which is where our community lives, so to speak. I'm there. You can be there. Ask questions regarding your career, job advice, anything of that nature. Go over there, and we'll be there waiting for you. And can't wait for you to contribute. So on to today's video, how to start a career and job in cybersecurity. About 5 years ago, actually a little longer than that, I decided to move my career in that direction. Uh, kind of wanted something different, something new, and decided cyber was going to be it. And by that, I mean, I really had to get myself in the mindset of what it would mean to be a cybersecurity professional. So this is me as already an IT professional, but ready to do something a bit different than what I had done in the past, such as data, analyst, architecture kind of work, etc. So, one good thing to note is, I mean, this is an ever-growing field. The Department of Labor, Bureau of Labor Statistics has it at 18% growth between now and 2024. I'm sure that number will stabilize, if not keep growing. So it's certainly a great profession to be in, very lucrative as well. So if you're looking to get into it, here are some kind of generalities that this video will help you with to get you moving in cybersecurity. So first thing to know are the roles. What are the roles? So when you get your first position in cyber, it's likely going to be on one of these teams. Red team is the team an organization utilizes to essentially hack their own company ethically. And by that, that means that they go on offense. They try to find vulnerabilities. An ethical hacker would try to seek out any deficiencies or ways to get into a system and try to catch it before a real, maybe non ethical hacker attempts to break into your system. And that's what red team means. It means going on offense with the company's permission, essentially. The blue team means opposite, staying on defense. So here you're looking at more incident response, how to handle an incident, how to defend against, a hacker or any of their malicious code, protecting the network, protecting documents, etc., servers. And that's where blue team comes in. It means you're on the defensive side. The purple team is essentially a merge or a fusion of both. And that's a person who has skills in both red team and blue team, meaning they can go on offense or they can be on defense. These positions are highly coveted. They're ones that I see out there that usually have the highest pay rate in cybersecurity because they're hard individuals to find. You have to find somebody who's very comfortable being technical and also comfortable getting out of their own um, comfort zone regarding learning different languages and serving different roles. So these are kind of the top areas to consider when you're moving into cyber. Now, going into cyber does not necessarily mean that you have to be a coder. There are plenty of analyst types of positions, policy types of positions available as well. But these are some of the general roles when we hear the term cybersecurity and kind of what they mean to you and me. So on to the next area of cyber, if you want to move into this as a career or job, and that is skills. What skills do you need, right, to get on one of those teams? Well, I think it comes down to three: Python, SQL, and Linux. There's almost no getting around learning Python now in almost any part of IT. It's used for data analytics amongst many other types of areas, including cybersecurity. Python very much an application-based type of language that differs from something like SQL, which is more database driven, learning about data, right? Because ultimately, that's what hackers are typically after, the data, right? And so to get to the data means probably learning how to parse through, maybe with Python, for example, but of course, learning SQL. And SQL is pretty much the universal database language around the world with its various subcomponents such as DML and DDL. data manipulation language, and data definition language, which you'll learn more of as you get into learning SQL. The third one that I thought might be of interest is Linux. A lot of companies will segment a part of their network or part of their applications away from, let's just say, Windows over to a different environment. Most of it's because they just need it for whatever applications they're trying to run that's not Windows centric, for example. But it also helps create a different kind of environment so that maybe if a hacker knows Windows very well, they may not know Linux. And if they don't know Linux very well, then that portion of the network may be pretty safe, so to speak. But it's always good to have a completely different type of skill set. And I think Linux can be a great differentiator that is still highly sought after and well needed. So I think between Python, SQL, and Linux, those are some of the major skills I would start looking to uh, um, getting under your belt sooner than later. And there's plenty of free training out there regarding all three, which I'll go into in a little while here. So next up, certifications. Right, this is where I started. This is how I got into cybersecurity. At the very ground level is CompTIA's Security Plus certification. This is a certification that's even required by like the Department of Defense for those individuals in the military who are going into this type of security position, CompTIA Security Plus. I would call it very much an entry level type of security designation, but highly regarded, highly sought after, and I think it's a great starting point to get certified in CompTIA Security Plus. Where did I start? I actually started with the Certified Ethical Hacker. This one, along with the Certified Hacking Forensic Investigator certification, were the first two that I got in coming into um, cybersecurity. The CEH is more widely known, right? You heard me say the term ethical hacker a little while ago. Certified Ethical Hacker is someone who just that. They are people who organizations are looking to hire who can hack into their company ethically and with permission to try to find those pitfalls and shortfalls regarding a company's defense. So I think getting certified with CEH is wise, and this certification is designed and developed and administrated by EC Council. The third one would be CISSP, and to me, this is one of the 900-pound gorillas in the industry of cybersecurity and maybe IT in general. The CISSP, or Certified Information System Security Professional, is more, I would say, not necessarily theory based, but it isn't as hands on compared to the other two. So here you learn different domains of security, and this certification is administered by ISC squared. Each of these certifications has their entry level requirements, and as you progress through your security career, you will kind of go down into this stair step level. These three aren't necessarily the end all be all cybersecurity certifications, I should say, but they are quite important, and all three are very well recognized in industry. So once you go for your Security Plus, then you can think about maybe pursuing Certified Ethical Hacker, and then eventually the CISSP. And again, a lot of it has to do with just industry experience and industry knowledge before you're even allowed to kind of sit for the exams, right? Because no one wants to set you up for failure. But I would recommend all three of these if you can, if you're looking for a long career in cybersecurity. So that leads me to resources. What resources do I lean on and have I leaned on throughout my cybersecurity career? And so while you've heard me say really just in the past 5 to 7 years, I've kind of shifted towards cyber, I think I've picked up a lot of different um, industry resources to lean on. These are not the end all be all, but they are ones that I have looked upon from time to time just to kind of stay current with what's happening in the world outside of my little world of cybersecurity. And these four are really good ones. So the National Cyberwatch.org is somewhat of a consortium of different researchers and organizations, universities that come together. And it is a .org. And they seek different types of research to kind of help progress security along from a research perspective, but also application. They have lots of different events and conferences. A lot of individuals who join or receive grants tend to kind of go through National Cyber Watch as well. So one I would highly recommend, and I've got the links down below for each one of these, by the way. Security Weekly to me is more of your day-to-day weekly cybersecurity update source regarding all things cybersecurity. And it's a great article journal, if you will, and one that I would recommend that you put on your reading list maybe once a week. Just kind of poke out there, see what's happening, and Security Weekly, and I think you'll get a good vibe of all updates, because it can be really hard to keep up with security just given the amounts of changes that happen on a daily basis. Next one is a government site, and that's CISA, right? This is the critical infrastructure site regarding cybersecurity. And so this is a .gov site. That is one I recommend just from an even higher perspective, just so you can kind of keep an eye out on what does government think and what are they doing regarding cyber. They have a lot of different free initiatives on there, as well as others that they're working through their various government counterparts, contractors, etc. But CISA is another link that I would consider looking at, maybe every so often, so you kind of see what's happening from a big brother perspective regarding cybersecurity. And the last one is Cybrary.it. This one's kind of has your free resources regarding training. Maybe they're a bit different from some of the certifications I mentioned earlier, but this can give you some kind of maybe up-to-date monthly trainings that you might want to take. And I think they've done a fabulous job of coming on board and helping to educate the cybersecurity workforce, which we highly need given the growth that you've heard me say earlier. So those are all the resources that I recommend. And like I said, I put the links for all of those resources down below. So feel free to bookmark them. And also, as mentioned, go join our IT village so that you can communicate with other IT professionals such as yourself, and or maybe see job opportunities. And we hope to see you on the next video.
As a reminder, click the like button, leave us your comments, let us know what you'd like to hear more of. Also, click the subscribe button and the bell button so that you're immediately alerted anytime a new video is published. Be sure to join our IT Village, which is the link to communicate with others within our YouTube channel over on our platform so that you can get answers to your questions. And lastly, in the upper right corner of our YouTube channel, click the free download of How Much Can I Make in IT?